In this section 3, we are being told that we should try to develop, create a script file to indicate 3 games. That is, game 1 should be 15, game 2 should be 10. This aspect of Matlab sincerely was interesting while I was doing it. It's like you write a script at the background or something at the background. Now in the interface, the user interface, they would not see what you have written, but it's just they will just be seeing instruction for you to impute code. Now, first, everybody knows how to create a script file. I just decide to say edit hnd1.m. It will take me to the script file where the script is. So you can write anything. You can say A as game 1. You can call game 1 G1 equal to, this is the code you just need to impute. If you write this command I've just written here now on your command window, it will flag you an error that you are putting so many instructions all in one. But if it is being written in your script file, when you tell it to run, it will just go and show you this. It simply means um, for game 1, or you can call it A, game B, game C. But since in the question they've already used game 1, game 2, game 3, just call it game 1. Then what are you saying? You are telling it to impute. Remember, you want to write something that will come out. And I told you right from time that when you are writing something in Matlab, it should be inside this quote. So you are telling it to impute the score for G1, that is game 1. You can write it out. You can say put the score for G1, anything you wish to write, or say what is the value. You can write it there. What is the value for game 1? So it's just there. So anything you wish, all you need to do is put it in quotes, then put it in bracket with the command impute. When you do this, well, it's interesting. You see it when you run, you see it there at the command window. This is the only thing you see. What is the value for game 1? So because this is not my interest, we are looking for the average. I can decide to suppress it. I love copy and paste very well. As I've written this, I just copy, paste over to the next line. All I need to do is to change this and change this, paste over to the next, change this and change this. So now what will happen for this 3? If you run, it will tell you impute score for game 1. You have to put the score. When you do that, it will ask you again, impute score for G2 or score for G2. You put the score. Then if you enter, it will tell you score for G3. You have to put the score. Now, I used average score. Any word you wish to use, you can use. You must not include the score that I've used. So you can just say average is equal to game 1 plus game 2 plus game 3. Being in bracket is to tell Matlab solve these 3 first, then divide everything by 3/3. Because if you don't put it in bracket, by the time you reach game 3 and say divided by 3, Matlab will see it as this game 3 should be divided by 3, not everything to be divided by 3. And this is an example of runtime error. So as I was saying, that it's a runtime error. It will give you a value, but it is not what you need. So once you click on run, you see I just wrote this percentage sign just to tell you after this stage you run. And by the time you run, on your command prompt, you see that it has generated HND1 for you. And the next thing you see is score for G1. And we already told in the question that score for G1 should be 15. Then score for G2 should be 23. Score for G3 should be 10. Just put your values, and all you need to write, you remember I used average score while I was writing it. If you did not put this and you just say average, alone, or AVG. You can decide to put your average as AVG. But remember, whatever you have done here is what you just put on the command window as your next, and it will just give you your answer. It will do all the calculation at the background where you have already created it in your script file. So this also helps us with this next question that talks about you should create a function for converting degree Fahrenheit to degree centigrade, and you should use the input fprintf. This one is also very interesting. Just try to calm down and listen if you have digested the one for the games that we have done. Now, all you need to do, you can say edit convert temperature.m as your file name so that it takes you to a file. Because one thing is, if you should put these file all in one place, I created a script file for this, which is HND1. If I should go and write this next code on HND1, when I try to run, it will always bring what I have written first on games before it will get to this place. So to avoid all of that, just create different file for it. It's an exam situation, so it's not that your phone will be filled up. You are not doing it on phone, but practice it, please practice it. When there is error, let me know, it will be corrected. So first, you see Fahrenheit. What should it display? Input, I just told it to display that. You should be familiar with display that enter temperature in Fahrenheit. That is what I have instructed it. Remember, this is just what I wanted to display. Remember to put it in quotes and close your bracket. I don't need it. That's why I'm suppressing it. There. Okay. All right. So the next thing is to instruct it that this is the formula we want to use to calculate Celsius. This is Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. This is the formula that was given in the question here. So you can represent it as C. You can use Fahrenheit as F if you wish to. But just for training purpose, if I had said F is this, then it simply means that I will represent here as just F minus 32, because that is what I have declared. That should be the input. Whatever the input, whatever the person writes on it, if you see 200, that is what will automatically be calculated here. So Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. Then this fprintf, which I told you is interesting. There are different ways you can represent it. You want the result to appear both in letters and in number. Now, this percentage sign you see here, remember this fprintf, you put it in bracket, then remember to put your quote because you want it to appear. This percentage sign is actually a placeholder. That is is telling it you want to put a digit. I don't want the digit to be more than 2. This is the .2. That's if it's the 10.55555, it should just be 10.55. Only 2. That's 2 place of decimal. Then this F means floating. The number should float. You should not round it up. If you should put, I think D simply means it is what you put that should be there, and sometimes when there is decimal places it scatters. That's why this F, which is float, is important. So you just put this percentage sign dot. I can change it to 3 place of decimal. It can be 1 place of decimal, any one you wish or you like, but just remember it is percentage dot. You want the person at the front end to put whatever value the person have put here, maybe 200. It will now appear that 200, because of what you have written here now, the placeholder, 200 degree Fahrenheit is equal to what is the final answer for the degree Celsius? So that is why the space was not enough for me. I continued writing. Is equal to, I've just repeated what I did initially. It can be to one place of decimal, no problem. Whatever the value is that it has calculated here in degree Celsius, then I told it that it should normally, after writing that this one in the command window, it will put this as for you to write something else. This backslash n is telling it, don't put it in the same line with this Celsius. Take it to the next line. That's just the meaning of this in there. Then, what are the arguments? I want it to put Fahrenheit in this first place and degree Celsius in this second place. So the two places I want degree to be: Fahrenheit at the beginning, Celsius at the end of equal to. So what this will show you is 200 degree Fahrenheit is equal to maybe 100 degree centigrade, and that's all. That is the only thing that will appear as soon as the person just imputes the temperature in Fahrenheit first, because they say enter temperature in Fahrenheit, so you put it 200. Every other calculation will be done at the background. So once you run, it's interesting, but just try it, run it, practice with it. You get to understand what I'm talking about. So see you in section 4.